You can rip a corner off a QR code, smear ink across a third of it, and your phone will still scan it correctly. Try that with a barcode and it simply fails. No result, no product, nothing. So what is actually different about that little black and white square? The answer starts with a man having lunch, staring at a board game. In the early 1990s, an engineer named Masahiro Hara worked for Denso Wave, a subsidiary of Toyota, on the problem of tracking automotive parts through factories. The barcodes of the time could only hold a small string of numbers, read in one direction, and had to be scanned dead straight, or they failed. On a busy factory floor that was constantly slowing workers down, Hara needed something that held more information, and that could be read instantly, from any angle, without winding it up perfectly. The story goes that the answer came to him while he was playing Go, the black and white stone board game, during a lunch break, a grid of black and white. Instantly readable at a glance from any angle by a trained eye. That was the shape of the solution. What Hara's team built in 1994 was the Quick Response Code, QR for short. Here is what those three big squares in the corners are actually doing. They are called finder patterns, and they exist purely so a scanner can instantly work out the code's orientation, no matter which way it is held, upside down, sideways, rotated at an angle. Three identical corner squares tell the scanner exactly how to write the grid before reading it, in a fraction of a second. That solved the barcode's angle problem completely, but the more impressive trick is the damage tolerance. How does a code with a chunk missing still work? QR codes use something called Reed-Solomon error correction, a mathematical method originally developed for deep space communication, where a signal from a probe might arrive, corrupted by noise, and still needs to be read correctly. The same idea got borrowed here. A QR code does not just store your data once, it stores mathematically reconstructible redundancy alongside it, spread across the grid. Depending on the error correction level chosen when the code is generated, a QR code can lose up to roughly 30% of its surface through a stain, a tear, or a logo deliberately placed in the middle and still be read perfectly. The scanner is not reading damaged data. It is reconstructing the missing pieces from the redundancy that survived. That is also why brands can put their logo in the center of a QR code and it still works. The logo is eating into the error correction budget, not the essential data. The format also scales further than most people assume. The smallest QR code holds a simple web address. The largest standard version can hold several thousand characters of text encoded across a much denser grid, which is why the same format works equally well for a restaurant menu link and for a boarding pass carrying a passenger's full booking record. So if this was such a good idea, why did it take until smartphones for QR codes to go mainstream? Because for over a decade, almost nobody outside a Toyota parts warehouse had a camera capable of reading one instantly. The technology was ready in 1994. The hardware to use it casually did not exist in most pockets until the 2010s. There is one more decision that mattered just as much as the engineering. Denso Wave held the patent on the QR code and could have charged licensing fees for every use, the way many companies do. Instead, they deliberately chose not to enforce the patent for the standard reading and generation of QR codes, effectively releasing the format for free public use. That single choice is arguably why QR codes became a universal standard instead of a mildly popular, proprietary format squeezed out by a rival. Nobody had to pay to use it, so everybody did. Every menu, every poster, every payment screen you have scanned with your phone is running on a Toyota factory floor invention from 1994, a lunchtime board game, and a patent the inventors chose not to defend. Now you know.